haven't recorded something in a long time, but boy, I just feel like talking and not fucking writing this morning. Here's the scene. Let me set the scene. Bang on the new moon. Tonight, new moon. Wind blowing a literal gale. Like madness. The world is on Coronacation. So there is a novel virus sweeping its way through the population. A global pandemic. I'm walking because the gym is closed. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 3. Couldn't sleep. As is fairly typical of me on the new moon. And I've just gotta fucking let this shit out to the only person who's ever gonna understand it, which is me. And maybe my sister. Absolute bonkers. I'm at work yesterday. I was working from home the week before because I had a bit of a head cold, and if you have any fucking cold symptoms whatsoever, not allowed to work. No work for me. So I'm stranded at home. I seem to work twice as much at home as I do at work, which is interesting. And I realized that working from home is not kind to us extroverts. I was going a bit batty, but that's all good. Nothing I can't handle. You know, it's not forever. I was looking forward to going to work the next week. It's Monday and I'm with my team and I'm all excited. I'm fucking having some yarns with the boys and it's all good. And then by 1:30, shit hit the fan. The Prime Minister declared we're going to level 3 only because we were going to go to level 4 on this pandemic alert level system within 48 hours. So level 3 was just to get us ready, which was a really good call on her part. I've got to say the government has handled this extremely well. I knew the fucking panic buying would ensue. And here I am. Oh yeah, here I am. Thinking I'm fucking better than everyone else. Thinking, oh, I'm so self-aware. I'm so self-aware. I'm not gonna let myself fall into that brain trap. I know it's just survival. We know it's just our survival instinct telling us we don't have enough. So we've got to buy. When really that's not true. They're never going to close the grocery stores. They say that, but we don't, you know, not to make matters worse, but we don't actually know that. Like, no one fucking knows that. They can close the fucking stores. We don't know what's going to happen. They don't plan to close the stores, but we didn't plan for Coronacation. And this level 4 is going to be in effect for 4 weeks. And it's just been really fucking confronting the kinds of things I find myself worrying about. Because I'm not normal. Never have been. Never will be. But it's really funny to reflect on what makes me freak out in this situation, because it tells me, if I'm stepping outside of myself and looking objectively at my thoughts, what I have linked to my survival. So what am I worried about? Well, what was my form of panic buying? I did panic buy. I heard that Pack and Save was an absolute shit show. And I had to go pick up Richie, and there's this dairy on the corner. So I go into the dairy. It's one of those dairies that's got like one of everything. that you'd never want to buy. And these cans look like they're fucking 10 years old. I thought perfect place for me to stock up on some panic food. I buy 2 things of wet cat food for Shadow. Like 8 pouches that'll last her like half a month. I get 2 cookies, 2 Turkish Delights, 2 Kit Kats that I've always wanted to try, but I've never wanted to face my demons enough to eat them. And what else? I feel like there was something else. No, I think that was it. Just a bunch of rubbish. Because in my brain I was thinking, right, I need to buy high calorie food, because what if we need to start rationing and I can only buy one thing, or I can only eat one thing a day, so I've got to have something small that packs a huge caloric punch. That's what I bought. Granted, that's what I bought because I was smart enough to see this coming, and we stocked up on all the actual essentials Sunday when people weren't panicking. So what else? I pick up Richie and I think, you know what? The restaurants are about to close. All the takeaways and restaurants are about to close for a month. And even though we never go out to eat, ever, I thought, yep, let's have a drink and enjoy some takeaway, like a full-on rubbish meal, and just glide our way right into this Coronacation. Something I knew historically led to copious amounts of guilt. And I also know that I'm not quite back up to running condition, nor do I like to run in the wind, thus walking. Setting myself up for just such a perfect brain fuck, it's not even funny. Yeah, let's eat a whole bunch of food that I don't normally eat, and not be able to go to the gym the next day because it's closed. Why don't I do that to myself? You know, just so I can seal the deal on how uncomfortable I can make myself. Oh God. So we do. We go to the takeaway. We go get Thai, and it's great. You know, this Thai place it's a total hole in the wall, but it's fantastic. We rubbish, and we go to Countdown. We're waiting for the Thai food. We go to Countdown to get what? 2 beers and 2 cans of wine. Costs us $20. More than we usually spend. That's like a fifth of our normal grocery for the week. Shit we never buy. We never buy this stuff, like by exception only. And we're facing a situation where, you know, Richie's not going to be able to work. He's going to go down to 80% pay because he's going on whatever New Zealand's version of unemployment is. I'm okay because I work for an amazing company that's got me covered, and I'm working from home. But this is what is important to me. And now I can't sleep because I'm thinking, how am I going to exercise? What am I going to eat? How much am I going to eat? Blah, 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 blah. I'm facing 4 weeks of this. And, the good part is that at least Richie will be home with me. And I did reflect on that last weekend when I thought, wow, if I only get one person to hang out with for the next, you know, like if this pandemic thing comes, because you could see it coming. I mean, it was pretty clear that they were going to shut everything down. And I was like, man, you only get one person to hang out with. I am so grateful for my husband. It is not even funny. If I had been, like, I struggled when I was single, when I could go anywhere and do anything. But now everybody's got to go into lockdown mode. And it's like, pair up, fuckers, or you're going to be one lonely sap. Oh my God, I would have flipped. I would have totally just gone into myself. And Lord knows. Who knows what would have happened. It wouldn't have been pretty, I can tell you that. But thankfully that's not happening. And now I'm kind of worried of, I'm glad. Actually, I'm not worried because I have to keep working. Richie doesn't have to work. I have to keep working. And we've set up a beautiful little system in the spare room. So we'll kind of, you know, we won't be all up on each other because the house is only 86 square meters. And it's good prep for the future for our tiny homes because we'll be even closer up onto each other and in each other's space. So, but he'll find a project in the garage or some shit. Anyway, in the backdrop of all of this lovely, perfect irony of the universe. So everybody at work, let's rewind, because you know, I never take a linear fucking approach to anything I do. We're backing it up to the day. During the day, we're all waiting for the call to be made at work that all non-essential staff have to go home. It inevitably comes around 1:30. We all pack up our shit. I take my docking station, my laptop, my trusty laptop that I've had such a good relationship with, and my laptop's never, ever, ever caused me any problems. Get my docking station, my monitor, my keyboard. Fuck, I am gonna be set. I'm all good. I've got everything I need, right? Sweet as. Get it home, I wash it down, because it's all dusty and shit. I wash it, I scrub it, it's looking good. Set it up. Now I decide, I hadn't shut down my laptop in a really long time, probably like a week and a half. So I was like, yeah, I should probably shut it down while I hook up everything into the dock, just so she boots up, you know, without any problems, communicates with the dock. We're going to optimize this system. Oh yeah, it's going to be sweet. I'm going to be a working machine from home. I'm going to get so much done. I'm going to write my reports. I'm going to study for my dairy dip. Holy shit, I'm going to be productive as. Well, I went to boot up the computer, my laptop, before I left to go get Richie. And it was taking a really long time, so I was like, fuck it, I can't sit here and wait for this. I've got to go get Richie. And then, you know, we went on the various adventures that I've already spoken about. Well, when we get home, I go in to check on my lovely laptop. And there's this odd sort of message on my screen. One of those black messages of death that says, no operating system was found. And some other words of impending doom. So I do what everybody does in that situation. I hit enter and hope for the best. And then it sends me this other screen. A DOS screen. You know, the black and white fucking word processing type screens with just that cryptic old school like MacBook circa 1996, no mouse, just that good old DOS script that gives me like two options: to either look for a hard drive or to give up on fucking life, basically, because there was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do. And we're not allowed into site. I'm supposed to get the regional manager's approval to even be on site. I have no idea where our IT guy is. I have no idea how to call IT. I proceed to start crying, and I'm serious. I cried. I'm ashamed to admit it, but it's the truth, so I'll look it in the face. I'll look it in the ugly fucking face. I cried. And what does that tell me? Well, that tells me how strong my work ethic is, because all I could think was, how am I gonna work from home for 4 fucking weeks without a laptop, and I don't know how to fix it. But I'm a smart girl, so I allow myself that freak out time. I'm leaving out something. I knew my laptop would eventually die. I've known it for a while. I was running Windows 7, and I stubbornly, because I, like everyone else, hate change. I'm a big fat hypocrite. All I ever do is talk about challenge yourself, expand your awareness, challenge your thoughts, embrace change, blah, blah, blah. But I'm a big fucking hypocrite, because I hate change as much as everybody else does. And I didn't want the aesthetics of my operating system to change. Someone mowing the lawn at fucking 4 in the morning. What is that sound? Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I didn't want the look and feel of my fucking computer to change. So I've refused to upgrade to Windows 10. Even though I knew that Windows 7 would stop working. Eventually. And it picked a fine fucking time to do it, to teach me a great lesson. Maybe not to be a hypocrite and to embrace change, because change is a coming whether you want it or not. And one day, if you deny change, if you don't embrace it, meet it full on, your laptop's gonna fucking die and stop working. And then you're gonna have to. And isn't life like that? Hey, we're gonna give you a couple of invitations to openly embrace this change and bring it on yourself. Or, knock, knock, here it is, and you're fucked, and now you have to change. And it has happened at the most inconvenient time you could possibly imagine. Perhaps because you failed to embrace it. And life likes to teach us tough lessons, doesn't it? Yes. But a critical point, and one that I'd really like to ruminate on for a second, which is, there is a huge, powerful message in all of this. All of this pandemic shit can really allow us to step back and think, what am I losing my shit about? Am I worried for family members? Am I worried for myself? Am I worried that there's not enough food? Am I worried that I'm going to lose my house? Am I worried that I'm going to lose my job? Because whatever we are freaking out about tells us what we have intrinsically linked to our sense of survival. Because humans have a lizard brain that drives our sense of survival, and it is beyond analytical or thoughtful thinking. redundant, but it's true, right? If we can't, well, it's just beyond rational thought. It is by definition irrational. So here's my own embarrassing example. I freak out if I either overeat because I think I'm going to get fat, or undereat because I think I'm starving myself again. I freak out when I overexercise because I think I'm abusing my body, or when I underexercise because I think I'm going to get fat. So what have I, by some inexplicable means, have linked to my sense of survival? Well, I don't want to get fat. I don't know how I've done it, but it's probably been over years. And it's what drove my eating disorder for so long. I am irrationally afraid of gaining weight because I see that as a sort of death. A death of the life that I have fought so hard for. A death to the skinny summer who I had to work for a year and a half to get to, and then 10 years to get to know and get to love, because I hated my skinny self for a long time, and I tried to abuse her by starving her to death and keeping her in this delusional state by not eating. I don't expect that to make sense to anybody. Doesn't fucking make sense to me, but it's what I did when I started eating enough and could actually see what I was doing to myself, which only happened because I started losing my hair, and my vanity actually saved my life, because I thought, fuck that. I'd rather be fat than lose my hair. And that's what it takes, ultimately. You have to realize that there's something that you want more. For me, I didn't want to go bald. I'm vain. I'm vain as shit. We all are. Embrace it. How the fuck did I get down that rabbit hole? Boy, I can't even remember. But anyway, this is what I have linked to my survival. A lot of people are afraid of being alone because we link our ability to have people around us to our sense of survival. We can't survive without others to help us. Other people don't feel that way. They're fine being alone. They prefer it. And that's what works for them. And their sense of survival is linked to something else. It could be something weird. Oh, that sounded judgy. Weird to other people. Of course, what we each interpret as intrinsic and necessary for our survival is completely personal, and it should be. And it won't make sense to other people. And that is what I'm going to go ahead and step out on a fucking branch and say, can we all agree just to be kind to one another right now? Let me walk around Howada at 4 a.m. to get my fucking fix. And I won't bother you for buying fucking toilet paper. Right? Let's just give each other a bit of slack, because we're all freaking out, and how we all freak out is going to be irrational, and it's going to be unique. I didn't say it overtly, but what I have also linked to my survival and my essential well-being is to not abuse myself the way that I have conventionally abused myself. So I'm afraid of getting fat on one side On the other side, I'm afraid of repeating that abuse of my eating disorder. So much so that I'm conscious of over-exercising and under-eating, because that's what I used to do to myself. And I can tell you what, having both of those sensations going on in my brain at the same time is what makes me just a bit fucked. But it's also made me extremely self-aware, and by remembering to first and foremost be kind to myself is what has slowly allowed me to start to heal and change my life. The old version of me would be freaking out right now so bad, wouldn't know why, and I'd be one panic attack after another. I'd probably have to be medicated at this point because I didn't know. I wasn't aware of what was driving those fears. So now I'm aware. And yeah, now I've got to kind of take a step back, look at myself and be like, woohoo! You are off to crazy town, girl. You got on the bus and you're halfway fucking there. But at least I can look it in the face and know it for what it is. Survival, irrational based thinking that may not make sense to me or anyone else, but it's there. And denying it is not gonna help. So I'll let myself walk at 4 a.m. and I'll let myself buy cookie dough Kit Kats and look at them in my pantry and never fucking eat them. But their presence there will help me feel safe. And that's all that matters. So in these troubled times, friends, take care of yourselves, and that is how we will take care of others.